You keep saying that you're going to leave bedside, but your bills are saying not yet. Here's the thing. You don't have to quit cold turkey. And honestly, I think that you shouldn't. You need a plan. And today I'm giving you one. Welcome back to the Next Level Nurses. My name is Tiff. I'm a bachelor's prepared registered nurse who did business before bedside. And now I'm back to business. I switched careers in my mid-30s to become a nurse. And now I help other registered nurses leave bedside for business if they want to. Now, the first thing that's needed in this whole plan is a look at our financial resources. I know it's dry, but we're going to do it in phases so that we stay locked in, okay? We're going to do it in phases. And phase one is just awareness. You don't have to change any habits. You just got to look at what's under the bed. You just got to pull the covers up and peek under there. That's all I'm asking you to do. You want to look at the current situation. You want to figure out how much you're spending on essentials versus non-essentials. And when I say essentials, I do mean your mortgage or your rent, your utilities, your transportation fees, your groceries, your childcare, things like that. And when I say non-essentials, I'm talking about subscription services, ordering out, certain levels of upkeep and traveling, things like that. Now, personally, to me, upkeep is essential, but if I had to skip a nail appointment or two to save an extra $150 here, $200 there, it's doable. I can do that at home. So that's what I mean by upkeep. Now, the goal in this is just awareness. You don't have to make any big changes. You just want to start to take your power back by being aware of what you're holding and what you can let go. And I want you to remove any type of guilt or shame or negative feelings about this. You have a demanding and stressful job and you're doing your best. You do what you need to do to survive day to day. So I'm just cultivating loving awareness in phase one. Phase two is to consider changes. We're not making any drastic changes. You and I, we've done the crazy drastic diet changes right before where it's like, what is it? It's like the Daniel fast, the lemonade diet with like lemon juice and maple syrup. Maybe they don't still do these fad diets now. But when I was in college the first time, there were all types of fad diets and you end up worse off, gaining more weight and having worse self-perception than before you started the diet. We're not doing any financial drastic diets right now. We just want to think holistically about what actually brings you joy, what actually nourishes you as a person, and what type of spending is just more automatic or habitual that doesn't actually invest a lot into your well-being. You want to kind of question and search through recurring charges and purchases and think about stress-based spending or stress-based purchases that you make, especially if they happen cyclically. Maybe you are a Netflix junkie and you love Netflix. Do you need a YouTube subscription? Of course you do, because you want to watch me ad-free. But do you need a YouTube subscription? Do you need Netflix? Do you need Hulu ad-free? Do you need HBO Max? Do you also need DoorDash and Uber Eats and Starbucks? Do you need all of these things, or do you just want them because you're kind of stressed? Our mind and our psychology tries to protect us from feeling stress, and it can kick off a cycle. We really want to change our circumstances, and maybe we start to think about grad school, and maybe we start to think about a side business or a passion project. And then we look it up and we see tuition costs, and we see zoning fees, we see what it costs to rent a commercial space, and then we feel trapped. And then to compensate for that negative emotion of feeling trapped or feeling like we can't achieve it, we change something else that is surface level to make ourselves feel better, something that is more attainable. For me, my toxic trait is changing my hair when I'm stressed out. I'm like, I can't look at the same hair anymore. I need to do something a different color, different cut, different style. And it doesn't necessarily have to be toxic, but it's one of those things that when big finances are tied to it, when it's a new car, when it's something else that's a very large purchase, or those cyclical purchases that just kind of build up over time, that's when it can become a problem. We obviously want to confront some of these cycles, and we want to invite ourselves to think about how to move forward. Now, phase three, we want to dream. We want to identify our goals and start doing a little bit of light research toward them. And we want to write out those goals. Write the vision and make it plain. We want to write out those goals with I statements, and we want to post them everywhere, on our bathroom mirror, in our bedroom, frame them. Listen, by our desk, by our doorway when we come in after a long day's work. You want to start these off with I want to insert what you want to do here. And then you want to say because, and then you insert your reason. Or you can say I deserve to, and then insert the goal or the dream here. Maybe it is I want to go back to graduate school to become a nurse practitioner because I dream of providing a higher level of care than what I've received. It could be that simple. Maybe it's I deserve to start an online store because I really love fashion. It's an outlet that brings me joy. I deserve to create a healthcare business. I desire to do that because I want to give good patient care. I deserve to put my child in the school system that's going to help them flourish as human beings. I deserve more time away from work to actually have a work-life balance and to travel. Maybe the goals are to buy a house, to build up the nest egg, to hit those retirement goals and benchmark, or maybe it's just to pay off debt. Whatever it is, you want to make that goal tangible. You want to say it aloud, you want to write it, and you want to reflect on it regularly. In phase 4, we're going to begin to identify small changes that can support those goals. So we're going to look back on phase 1 and phase 2. So we're going to use that awareness. We're going to consider what's the easy change, and then we're really going to think about the goals that we've identified. Think what small changes can be made that's not going to make your life miserable. Fitness is a big thing. I'm never going to tell people to stray away from fitness because it lowers your cortisol, which is like a stress-related hormone. It lowers cholesterol, so it has good health and heart benefits. It just helps you sleep better, like better quality sleep. I'm not telling you to not exercise. I would never do that. But maybe instead of the big fancy gym membership, you work out at home. Maybe you use your building amenities if you live in like a condo or an apartment. Maybe you commit to going out in nature more to supplement some of those expensive lessons. And then you get the benefit of being outdoors and hearing bird song and seeing sunlight and grass with the physical health benefits of doing your high impact training or whatever you want to do out there. You can also think about ways to commute. Taking the train or bus to work, that could save a little money and it could save a lot of stress if you're not behind the wheel of a car for a long time. You can think about your eating habits. Maybe you can stretch. I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna meal prep, I'm gonna eat out once a week, or I'm gonna eat out every other week, and everything else I'm gonna prepare myself. Or maybe you know you're not gonna cook, so you buy a prepared meal service. Not me getting a call, you buy a prepared meal service instead of ordering out every night like a surprise, and it ends up being cheaper. So some of these small changes do not even necessarily have to be financial. They could be time sacrifices. Can you commit 30 minutes a week, just 30 minutes every week to look up scholarships to help you pay for grad school or to help you pay for those certifications that you want? Can you find a support group to talk about the feelings of stress that you have as an ER nurse, the feelings of stress that you have as a psych nurse, the feelings of stress that you have in labor and delivery? I'm kidding, because y'all are never stressed. You're always in a good mood. Come on, L&D nurses. Tap into the comments and let me know. Y'all stressed too? Is it stressful? With the current patient ratios, I think every nurse is stressed that's working bedside. But also, some of the changes that's not financial is to sit down and validate your business plan. We're not going to be saving money. We're not going to be hustling for business that doesn't make sense financially, that's not going to bring in profit. Validate your business plan. That's important. You have to do that. Can you commit to a networking event? Maybe just one networking event per month, and find a mentor who is where you want to be and get help from them. You can do financial planning classes. You can do a bill review, even using AI. Be careful with AI. I'm coming out with another video about AI. Be cautious what you put in there and recognize that it may be confused in what it gives back to you, but those are tools that you can use. You can also spend more to save more on the back end. Like I talked about, the delivery, the meal prep service. Instead of ordering out every night as a surprise, maybe just get like a meal kit delivery. Do the math and see what comes out more expensive or less expensive. For me, it's grocery delivery. I'll cook sometimes if the groceries are here, but going out to buy groceries, I haven't done that since 2019 because it's so stressful for me and because I had to do it for an assisted living facility. So I'm not just buying groceries for me and my husband, I'm buying groceries for my staff that live in there and my residents. For me, a $90 subscription fee for Instacart every year was worth those huge grocery tips, lugging the cart around, checking everything off my list, having to take the time to do that, lugging it in my car, unloading it on the front porch, having to do that weekly for my family and for my business. $90 a year as a subscription fee was definitely worth that. Sometimes, I know this is controversial, getting a little help around the house with cleaning, it might end up saving you money. If you're buying things because you're stressed out every time you come home and your house is a mess and your space is chaotic, you might save more money by, hey, I'm gonna have somebody come around here and do a little light cleaning once a week, every other week, once a month, before holidays, when people are visiting, something like that. You might save money by spending a little extra money to improve your mood and improve your space so that you stop that stress spending cycle. Additional financial tools that I would suggest that I have utilized to reach savings goals would be high yield savings accounts, high yield checking accounts, CDs that are at good rates, like you can find multiple that are above 4% annual yield right now, EFTs. Of course, with investing, you gotta be careful. You gotta be aware of what's going on in the world, politics and weather and business strategy changes. All of that affects returns. So do it with caution. Use a financial planner if you can. One of the best things that I've done is to just, when I'm setting up direct deposit, which I haven't done in a while, but when I set up direct deposit back when I was a claims adjuster, I just had them route portions of my check to 2 different checkings accounts. One was a savings account, one was a checking account. A percentage of your salary doesn't even have to hit your direct deposit. It can go into a separate account and you can have HR set that up. I'm not even seeing 10% of my paycheck. And I don't even recognize that 10% of that is going out every pay period to my savings. I don't have to think about it. I'm not even thinking about that account until it's time to use it and it's compounding. I would have to say that is definitely an option. Cash back and points when used strategically can also be great. Like our travel is heavily discounted because of those specific cashback and rewards cards. So this video ended up longer than I expected it to. So I'm gonna have to put the second stage of planning, the emotional resources and building up those emotional reserves, in the next video, okay? So we talked about money, we talked about the practical side, but most nurses mess up when it comes to, you can get the budget right, you start saving, but the self-sabotage comes next. So let's talk about how to avoid that in this video here. Bye.